They call this place the Pole of Cold. At minus 71 degrees, your breath doesn't just fog. My paws were no longer parts of my body. They were stones of ice. I was a speck of gold waiting to be buried by the White Death. I am an Amur leopard, the rarest ghost in Siberia. But I was a ghost too soon. Only 4 months.
Out of the whiteout comes a sound, the rhythmic crunch-clack of hooves.
The wind shifts to a black blizzard. Visibility drops to 0. My strength fails, and I...
In this cold, every breath is a debt you owe the sky. But I couldn't let the White Death take a ghost.
I felt his heart, a tiny, frantic hammer against my chest. I gave him the only thing I had, my own warmth. The Buran wind tried to erase us. It screamed that we belonged to the ice. I told the wind to wait. He saw his first sun that night. Not the cold, pale eye in the sky, but the orange fire of the hearth. Here.
The old woman's home smelled of pine resin and ancient earth. To a creature of the ice, the scent of...
In the Pole of Cold, everything liquid is a miracle. She was turning ice back into life.
Her hands were rough like the bark of a larch tree, yet her touch was lighter than a falling snowflake.
The milk was white gold. It thawed the ice in my veins and whispered that the world wasn't only made of teeth and wind.
Even the great beast in the shadows seemed to understand. In this cabin, the law of the wild had been suspended.
The stove is the heart of this cabin. In the taiga, if the heart stops beating, everything else turns to stone within the hour.
Hunger here isn't just a feeling. It's a predator, more patient than any wolf, waiting for the fire to dim.
I saw the hunger in his golden eyes, not just for the milk, but for the warmth of something that wasn't trying to kill him. A sound I had never heard in the wild. A vibration that defied the frost. In that outside, the world is a white death, screaming to get in. But inside, for one night, the ice has lost its grip. I watched her hands. They were like the roots of the ancient larches, twisted and hard, yet they held the only warmth in this white hell. She did not just give me food, she gave me her strength. Every crackle of the wood was a promise that the cold would not win tonight.
My paws were stones of ice. She rubbed the life back into them, her touch rough like bark but gentle like the first breath of spring.
In her eyes, I saw the sun for the first time, not the pale, ghostly glow in the sky.
I am a creature of the heights, born to kill. Every movement is a negotiation with the cold. My bones are brittle. In the wild, there is no mercy. But here, by the iron stove, the rules are different. I am a creature of the hearth, and he is a ghost of the ice. For a moment, we are just two heart...
He doesn't know he's a predator yet. To him, the world is just something to be hunted and pounced upon. Even the hem of an old woman's coat is a prize.
The Buran wind has a voice. It tells you when the forest is no...
Keep your eyes on the door, Katya. Ready? Now!
A pack of starving gray wolves. They followed the scent of the hearth, and the scent of the rare gold I was hiding in my arms.
But they weren't the only ones. Out of the whiteout came a roar, low, melodic, and frantic.
I had a choice. The safety of my fire, or the terrifying freedom of the ice. To keep him was...
In the Siberian winter, everything is designed to tear life apart.
The cold didn't matter anymore. The white death was forgotten the moment I felt the snow beneath my paws and saw the shadow of my mother. But the wild has a scent for vulnerability. The wolves didn't see a miracle. They saw a meal.
She didn't fire to kill. She fired to remind. The scent of the hearth was replaced by the scent of musk and wildness. I was home, but a part of me would always belong to that fire.
The wild is a thief. It takes what it needs and leaves only silence behind. But fire is a stubborn thing. It remembers the warmth even when the wood is gone. I can still feel the vibration of his purr in my floorboards. A ghost of gold in a house of gray. The wolves are still out there, waiting for the fire to die. But tonight, the hearth holds.
In the Siberian winter, everything is designed to tear life apart. But that old woman taught me something the wild never could.
In the Siberian winter, everything is designed to tear life apart. But that old woman taught me something the wild never could.
The wind changed. It wasn't the scream of the Buran anymore. It was a voice I knew in my blood.
But the forest has many ears. The scent of warmth and the promise of a meal had drawn the gray.
Agrafena didn't move like an old woman anymore. She moved like the taiga itself, slow to wake but impossible to stop once the steel was in her hands. And there she was, my mother, a golden flame in a world of ice. She had followed the thread of my scent.
She stood between the fire and the fangs. A woman who had survived 70 winters, now daring the wild.
The wild doesn't ask for permission. It just takes. But Agrafena? She was a wall the winter couldn't climb.
My mother's voice was a mountain crumbling. The wolves knew then, this wasn't just a meal, it was a war.
A crack of thunder in a land of ice. A reminder that the hearth has teeth of its own.
She knew. The warmth of the stove was a beautiful lie. My truth was out there, in the silver trees.
One last gift, a piece of her life to sustain mine. She wasn't just letting me go, she was throwing me back into the heart of the storm. I run, not because I want to leave her, but because the wild is calling my name in a voice I finally recognize. The scent of musk and wildness. My mother is a mountain of heat in the heart of the white death. I stop. I look back at the small light in the vast dark.
Kindness is not a weakness. It is a fire that the deepest frost cannot extinguish. We are all just travelers looking for a place to get warm.
She is a small silhouette, a ghost of kindness who fought the winter for me.